What have you achieved with your life? Now, this video is not for anyone who's 21, 22, 23. You can use it for motivation, but you're just too young. You haven't been around long enough to be left to your devices. You ain't been around long enough to achieve much. So if you're 21, 22, 23, don't worry about it. Just use this video as motivation. Don't be like the people I'm going to mention in this video. This video is for people who are in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on. What have you achieved in your life? I was listening to a motivational video, and Andrew Tate was saying you need to surround yourself with people that are going to motivate you. He was basically saying, if you was to hang around with his friends, you'll be self-conscious, i.e., why am I not a millionaire, but these people that I'm hanging around with are millionaires? It's either that, or you're going to be envious and jealous. But if you're a person with a decent amount of ambition, you're going to think to yourself, well, if I've been brought into this circle and everyone's a millionaire, I'm going to be motivated to be a millionaire, kind of thing. And you know what the sad reality is? The reason why most of us don't achieve much, the reason why most of us are just average, plain Janes and average Joes and that, is because we're the sum of the five, as they say, you're the sum of the 5 friends that you hang around with. So if you're with average people, guess what you're going to be? You're going to be average. You're not going to be motivated. When you have conversations with these people, they're not going to be talking about no big dreams and big plans and that. They're going to be talking about what tracksuit they're going to get next, what car they're going to drive next, what holidays are going on next. They're not talking about buying properties and setting up businesses and that. And some people do like to speculate about buying properties and business. You're chatting shit. I know people who have said 4 or 5 years ago, yeah, I'm going to buy a property. 4 or 5 years later, no property. So sometimes you can be around people that are talking about big dreams and that, and at the same time, are they the type of person to really put stuff in plan? That can you see them working on things? Or are they just coast along through life? Is their biggest goal and ambition to just wear nice clothes and drive a nice car and stunt on the gram? That's the sad thing, man. The sad thing is, we're not around enough people to motivate us. Like literally, obviously, man heard of who Andrew Tate was. Seen him on a couple of things, but I just thought, yeah, whatever. And then one of my brethren said, yeah, he reminds you of me. So I was like, all right, cool. Because obviously, if he talks about motivation and get me on, yeah, obviously, that's what man does, innit? Yeah. So one of my girls said, you know what? I was watching one of the things, my man's podcast or what, he was doing a podcast or something. He's like, you know what, Jay, watching it for like 7 minutes and that, it was like, this is like listening to Jay kind of thing. And then I just thought whatever, innit? And one day I just decided, you know what, let me just go and watch one of his things. And nah, my man, he is the real deal. Do you know what I like about my man? Well, how do I say it? You know when a man just don't play around? Like you watch me, you watch my content, you know man's a serious man. You know, when you watch me, you know I don't fuck about in life. I take life seriously, and that's what he's like. I don't know anyone like that in my personal life who's serious about life like that, really. I can't really think, maybe one person, they're on the right path, they're doing well and that. But other than that, I don't really know anyone who's serious about life. Most people I know, they just coasting along through life. The reason why we're coasting along through life, because we don't have no one to hold us accountable. So, like I said in the beginning, what have you achieved in life? Ask yourself this question. If you're 29, 30, 35 years old, whatever in it, yeah? Ask yourself this question. Answer this question for me. What have you achieved in your life? Seriously, what have you achieved? Okay, you got a uni degree. Then what? What have you attempted at? What have you accomplished? Now, my achievements might not be that great, but you know what? I can't just be talking like this without, you get me, saying what I've achieved and that. So, right, boom, 17 years old, 18, whatever in it, doing my electrical course. Then started the apprenticeship when I was 19. Finished the apprenticeship when I was about 21, I think. So I became fully qualified as an electrician when I was 21. Couple years later, I went to uni to do a HNC in electronic engineering. Got my HNC in electronic engineering. whilst I was doing a HNC in electronic engineering, I started a vending machine business. A year later, I bought a property. 3 years after that, I bought another property, which is my flat. And right now, I'm the age of 30. I'm in the process of buying another property and that. Oh, I forgot to say, I bought a property in Egypt as well. So right now, as I'm sitting there speaking to you, I've got this house, I've got a flat around the corner, I've got a studio flat in Egypt. I'm in the process of buying another property also in Northampton, this one little 1-bed flat. That's what I can outline. Now, for some people watching this right now, that's amazing. But for other people, they've done a lot more than that. But the main thing is, I'm trying. I ain't perfect, but you know what? I'm a trier. Our problem is, a lot of people watch this right now, you're not a trier. Okay, I'll ask you the question, what have you achieved? It might not be that much, because although I've achieved those things, I've tried a lot of stuff and failed, you know, even little dumb stuff, like starting a business, buying and selling cars and that, failed. On to the next thing. Man's tried a lot of things, you know. Yeah, I've done stuff to make myself look stupid, literally. So basically, I had the vending machine business, innit? I had 2 vending machines. I had one at my uni and one at one community centre in Islington. And, you know, business was okay. Weren't exactly killing it like Jeff Bezos or nothing like that. But business was okay. And I must have bought, I think, 50 Habitat lights. You know, like, you know that shop, the Habitat, they all got different styles of lights, but it's just some dome looking light or whatever, innit? And I decided, yeah, let me buy them because they're going cheap on eBay. So I went down to Watford and I bought 50 lights, and literally I had to load up my car, and then a guy had to load up his car, and we delivered all of them to my mum's house. And my mum went mad, because imagine, man's got 50 big boxes full of lights and that. So anyway, I had to obviously try and move the lights and sell them, innit? I literally used to walk around with, you know, one of them stationary boxes that people have in the office, and they pull it. It's like a little box trolley thing. Man used to walk the street with that, you know. I used to go into estate agents, used to give them a little elevator pitch my idea in front of like 4 or 5 people, and well, basically just try and sell them the lights. I used to walk into nail shops, you know. Imagine a black brother walking into a nail shop full of gyal with a light in a box trolley, talking about who wants to buy some lights and that. The gyal must have thought, is this guy on drugs? But you know what? When you got an idea, when you got a vision, when you're motivated, you don't give a fuck. I've done it before. I've stood up outside fucking B&Q in Enfield handing out leaflets. I'm seeing man them are coming up. I'm the one youth that man used to get me rub shoulders with and that back in the day. Man's coming up to me like, what go on, fam? Like, bro, I'm standing outside B&Q on a Sunday in a shirt and trousers and that, handing out leaflets, look like some fucking Jehovah's Witness, blood. Man them are coming up to me like, oh, go on, you cool, yeah? Like, looking at man like man's a madman kind of thing. But it's funny though, because this same person that probably thought I was a madman and that, I bumped into him in a barber shop and that, and he has like, I think he runs like an estate agent business or whatever, innit? Yeah. And me, I'm a man, I've got multiple properties and that. So it's funny that someone could look at you and be and feel like you're doing something mad or you're stupid and that, but you're in the same field as them years later and that. Sometimes you have to have crazy ideas, you know, to begin with, and then those crazy ideas you might stumble upon something good. But yeah, I've done it. I've done the madness. Yeah, one time one of my older cousins, he's like 5 years older than me, he was turning 30 or whatever, and yeah, it was his birthday, and I decided to go to a kebab shop beforehand. And basically, I'd spoken to this kebab shop owner before, and so where you got, those of you who know Edmonton, big up man like Quincy, real Edmonton man, innit? You get me? You got the Hertford Road, and where the Hertford Road meets Bouncers Road, there's a pizza kebab shop. Next to it, there used to be this Edmonton social club. So they renovated the social club and turned it into like a mini market Turkish thing and that. Anyway, whilst they were doing the construction phase, man's gone in there and said to them, yeah, I've got these lights for sale. Cut the long story short, after 2 or 3 attempts of trying to sell him the lights and that. Man's gone there on my cousin's birthday. I've all made like £360. Most people did after work stops Monday to Friday, they're not making no money on the weekend. They'd rather go on party and socialise and that. Forget that. I'm making money. Because man don't even chat to these family members like that. Imagine me saying, do you know what, I'm gonna go on party with my family members and that and lose out on £360 on a Saturday night. But then years later, these people I don't chat to these people, they don't support my thing. I'm not saying they support my thing, but what I'm saying is if they see some of my videos, they go, that guy's chatting shit. Why am I gonna prioritize? Listen, I don't give a fuck. It's all about me. It's all about me and my goals and my dreams. That's all I care about. People come and go. Friends come and go. Family, they're by default. Yeah? Most of your family, if you're doing stuff, you're doing big things and that, they're not gonna care about you. They're going to be jealous. But literally, you need to start hanging around with people who can motivate you. Like me, I'm a self-motivator. But most people, they're not self-driven. They don't have that drive like that. They don't have that ambition like that. That ambition comes from just flexing with other people and that. People I hang around with, they're not motivated and driven like that. They're not serious about life. Yeah, go and watch Andrew Tate. You see how he's a serious man. He's serious about life. Most people, none of us have friends like that. We need to strive to try and find people like that to be friends with. I'd love to be friends with a man like that. Like when I first saw his thing, I didn't even give a fuck. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But when I started listening, I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, I was thinking to myself, why can't I have friends like this? Man that is serious. I want to be around man that's even a bit arrogant. He'll come out with some madness, you know. I think he was talking about something to do with someone was taking a month to do something and he's like, come on, some madness, like, I make a fucking million in a fucking month. Now some people, he probably does make $1 million in a month and I think it's worth like 300, 500 million or something. Some people, they wouldn't want to be around someone who's arrogant like that. I make a fucking million in a fucking month and that. But I want to be around man like that. Yeah, I want man to mentally kick the shit out of me like, blood, you know, what have you done? What have you achieved in your life today, this month, this year? And I want man to get me to be around man that's gonna push man. It's difficult, always self-motivating, you know. Sometimes it's good to have self-motivation from external forces and that. Imagine, yeah, and people watching this right now, yeah, you would hate this. Everyone would hate this, but this would be a good thing for you, you know. Imagine every day at midnight, you had to report to someone. Someone even came to your bedroom door, whether it was your mum, your gal, whoever in it, and they knocked on your door and they said, Jay, what have you achieved today? Tell me. Forget about work. You're doing that. That's what you're supposed to do. But what have you done extra today? Have you worked on that new book? Have you get me, try and work on some business plans and that? What have you done today? Imagine, you the viewer watching this right now, imagine every day you have to report to someone. Or someone's kind of come and find you. What have you achieved today? If we all had someone to knock on our door at midnight, 11:59 before the day is up, and they ask you, what have you achieved today? And you can't use work as, because you're supposed to be going to work anyway. After work, what have you achieved today? What have you worked on for even 1 hour? Imagine where we would be in life if we had someone who's going to hold us accountable every single flipping day. That would be a beautiful thing. Some people, they would hate that because they're not motivated, they're not driven. But these same people who are not motivated and driven are going to be pissed off and jealous and that when they see a man driving past in a new Bentley SUV. I watched one program before. There was one young youth. He was at 21 or 25 or something. He had his own car wrapping business. He had a Range Rover that was wrapped, so probably one of the SVRs, the Range Rover that was wrapped. And then I think he also had a Bentley as well. And he said, when he used to drive around in his car, my man used to make like 200-300 grand a year or whatever from this business. When he used to drive around his car, he would obviously have the windows down or whatever in it, or the roof down if it was the Bentley or whatever in it. People would shout out, rental, lease, or they'll shout out rental, they'll shout out daddy's car. The fuck, blood? Like, what go on for you? Like, this is what I'm saying. There's people out here, haters, straight haters. Trust me, it's not just the people them around you that's gonna hate you. Man that don't even know you and know your situation is gonna hate on you, fam. How mad is that? How mad is that? A man can't when I see a man driving around in a nice car and I'm thinking, yeah, get me one day, that can't be me, fam. Yeah, I might not be able to get as quick as them. Everyone's timeline is different than that. But yeah, that's why I never get jealous when I see people doing better than me. Never. Because I know one day that's going to be man. No one could ever try and mock me and say, oh, you're just going to be an electrician. That's why I don't take pride in being an electrician. I don't care. Because I know this is not the end goal. This is just one step on the ladder. That's it. I don't business. Like some people, like they take serious pride in their job and that, or you get me. If someone say, "Oh, you're only an electrician," and that, they'll really take offense to it. And I've had a girl say to me, "You're just an electrician." I didn't even get vexed. First and foremost, this is a girl who is fucking, depression. She's depressed. This bullshit. You're not fucking depressed. You're a fucking loser. This girl's got depression and that. I knew her for about 5 years. And in that 5 years, she hadn't achieved nothing. From the day I met her to the day I stopped talking to her, this girl ain't achieved a damn thing. This girl used to lie to me, thinking that I'm stupid or whatever, innit, yeah? Since I knew her in the 5 years, she never worked. Apparently, she worked for about 6 months or a year when we didn't speak or whatever. But she's never worked since I knew her. And I said to her, so how do you survive and that if you don't work and savings? Whatever. This girl's on fucking benefits, man. She gets probably some disability allowance and that. But even still, even a fool like that, say, oh, you're just an electrician. But I don't give a fuck because I know this is not the end goal. This is not the end goal. Like me, I'd love to be one of them people that build brand new properties. So yeah, be like a property builder and that. Because me, I enjoy doing building work. I enjoy, like right now, just after I finish this video, I'm going to go down to my flat and I'm going to start fixing up the kitchen and that for the new tenants. I love doing building work. I love, you get me, working. I love doing tiling and maybe not painting and that, but plumbing and stuff. So I would love to be able to build houses and that. Make a lot of flipping money being a property developer. Yeah, you can make a lot of flipping money. I'd love to do that. But, get me, it has to start from hard work, and it has to start from your local 9-to-5 job. You save your money, you make investments and that. You make enough investments so that you can start saving, accumulating more money and investing in other businesses and that. That's why you have to try new things. If I never started a vending machine business, do you think I'll be sitting in this property here? You think I would have my property around the corner? You think I'll have the one in Egypt? You think I'll be in the process of buying another property? If I didn't start the vending machine business, I wouldn't have had the confidence to say, do you know what? I'm going to go self-employed. But do you know what? Before I go self-employed and do my own thing, I got this vending machine business and I'm selling lights and that. I got a little bit of money. Before I go self-employed, I'm going to buy this property and that. Telling you, my life is what you make it, man. You got to try new things. If I didn't decide to, you get me, go self-employed, I'll still be at home to Harringay earning £130 a day. Imagine, man get like 300, 360 a day. I've worked at jobs I'm earning £450 a day. Obviously, working mad hours though. Obviously, when I was at that infamous Holborn job. But yeah, man, that's it, man. Ask yourself, big man thing. What have you achieved in your life? So long as you're the age of, late 20s and onwards. And ask yourself this question. When the video finishes in 2 seconds, and ask yourself, what have I achieved with my life? The answer is probably not much for most of you. You cannot include your wardrobe that's worth 10, 20, 15 grand. You cannot include your watches and that. You cannot include your little car and that. What have you achieved in your life? Furthermore, what are you doing to help your children's future? I'm going to leave it there, man. Stay wise. Done now.